Alright, I don't have an intro gimmick yet, but here goes nothing. Today I'm going to be expanding the scope of some of my channel content here. Hopefully I'll be actually creating more channel content instead of just imagining it. But today we're talking about EDC. So, a lot of the EDC culture online is super just online. That's it. A lot of people or EDC accounts will post like EDC pocket dumps or whatever of like a different thing every week, and that doesn't really strike me as a true EDC. I think it's all kind of for show. So what I'm going to be doing is talking about what I actually do carry every single day, and then I'm gonna be dividing it into levels. So we're starting with the true EDC, and then I'll have some more stuff that I still consider level 1 that I actually do have on me typically every day, even if it isn't constantly. And then finally some stuff that is another level up that I have a bag for, that I don't always have on me but usually have on me. So when I say this is my true EDC, I mean it. This is what I have on me all the time, no matter what. The only thing on this level here is that I might not have with me all the time is, of course, the knife, because if I am going on a plane or somewhere with security, then I might not have that. Other than that, we have my phone, nothing too special. I think it's an iPhone 14. I don't even know for sure. I don't really care that much. It's a phone. I do really like my forged carbon case. It's pretty cool. I really like forged carbon. Wallet, typical kind of compact wallet. I got the RFID blocking type deal here, and I do keep some backup cash on me just in case. This is my standard cash pocket, but I do keep some emergency cash in here. And then this particular knife is just a $10 or so guidesman dagger. I wear it as a neck knife, so it's a little bit concealed. I like to have typically two knives on me, one that's cheap and I don't really care about, and then one that is nicer and is easier to keep nice. So if I need a knife for something that I don't want to beat up a nice knife for, then I have that one for that, and then I have a nice knife in my next level that I will also have on me at almost all times. So I also recently put this wire, I used a twist tie to wire this cross on here, because given some current events and the direction the world's going, I feel like it's more important than ever to keep God close. So I'll kind of slide these aside, and then we'll go into the things that I still consider in my level 1 EDC, but I can't really consider my true EDC because I don't always have them on me. So first up is a knife, or the second knife. So this is a Templar, I don't remember the model name, but it's just a OTF. This one is 440C, so nothing crazy, but I have a lot of knives, so I cycle through whatever I'm carrying pretty frequently. So this isn't like it's not like I always am carrying this specific knife, but I am always carrying a knife. Next up is a rosary. Like I said, with the cross on the knife, very important these days. This is one that I got for my first communion, and typically I will be wearing it on my hip, like is traditional, with like I'll loop it around my belt loop and then the rest goes into my pocket. But if I am wearing shorts or pants that don't have belt loops, then I will keep it in this case alongside a miraculous medallion, and I will keep that in my EDC bag. Next up is the piece. We got a P365X. This is the holster that came with it. I have it slightly modified, so this is just a belt clip from a measuring tape, actually, that I have modified to stay on it. So it is optic cut. I don't have one on there right now because they're expensive and I'm broke. Ammo is Hornady Critical Defense. I do not carry one in the chamber right now. If I feel like I'm going somewhere where I might be at a elevated risk, then I might carry one in the chamber. Same goes for extra mags. I don't typically keep any with me, but if I'm going somewhere where I think there's an elevated risk, then I might. I'll slide everything over more. Moving on, we got keys. So, Cleus McFarlane lanyard. We have the keys themselves, so I'm not going to go into detail on those, but key fob. I do have a few things on my key fob that I'd talk about. So we have a St. Michael's medallion. We have this little thing, which is actually a very small lighter. And it has a O-ring, so it seals and it doesn't leak. It's super cool. It was pretty cheap, but I just think little stuff like that's really neat. And then we have this. This is a Victorinox Classic SD, I believe, but I have a ton of keychain multi-tools that I just can't get myself to use because they're so big and bulky. This is not. I love this little thing. It's only a few things, so it's got the knife, file, and the screwdriver, and then the scissors on this side, and then tweezers, and a toothpick. And I would just like to note here that this knife and these scissors are insanely sharp, just surgical, and I absolutely love this little thing. I actually have several of them, and this is the color that I like using because I like color coordinating my stuff, if you can't tell already by all the black and blue. Alright, so this is what I consider my level 1. Actually, oh, hold on, I forgot one thing to mention that I should have mentioned right away with my original group, but that is the watch. I just recently replaced my Apple Watch with a Watson automatic field watch, and it's pretty great. It's got the sapphire crystal, so you're not going to scratch it. Glows in the dark. It's automatic. Just really quite a nice piece. So, that out of the way, this is what I consider my level 1. This is the stuff that I will have on me probably 99% of the time. So right now, being at university, obviously I can't have this on me at all times, but I do have it whenever I'm not at class. So I'm just going to stack some of this stuff, keep it out of the way, but still in mind. And now we're going to be moving on to level 2. So what I consider my level 2 is what I can keep in this bag. So this is a $14, I think it was, bag at Walmart. It's nothing special. Eventually, I would like to get a nicer one. I think a leather one would be pretty nice, but I haven't found one that quite fits what I'm looking for yet, and I don't want to spend money on one that I'm not going to use. So this one is really simple. It has the front pocket, and then the inside has one little divider in here. And then the other thing that I like to note about my bag here is this is actually a badge reel here, like a retractable badge reel, and I use it for when I'm riding my motorcycle. So the bag, when I'm riding, doesn't stay centered on my back super well. So what I do is I take this little reel and I bring it around and clip it onto my belt loop, and that keeps the bag nice and centered on my back when I'm riding. So, in the bag, which I'm just going to set to the side, I'm going to start off with some of the bigger stuff. We have this. We have a power bank, obviously solar powered. We have the cord for the bank, which is a Type-C, and then my phone charging cord, which is a lightning cable. And this thing is super, super nice. It is pretty big. It's bulky, obviously. My hands aren't super big, but size comparison, it's pretty bulky. But I'm all right with that because I use it all the time. It can charge my phone 4 full times before it runs out, and that's not even counting the solar charging. So it's super nice. It does have a built-in flashlight, but I don't really use that because I do have a flashlight that I keep in my bag. This is a Nebo. Nothing super crazy about it. It's got the nice big work light and a magnet on the bottom. It's not like crazy bright, but it's plenty bright for any typical stuff I need. And then it is AA powered, so I don't have to worry about batteries or charging. Next up, sunglasses. I got blue eyes. I'm pretty sensitive to light, so I have sunglasses on me just about all the time. These ones are Costa Half Moons, some of my favorites. Polarized. I keep a lens wipe in here, but just nice to have at all times because I'm a bitch when it comes to bright light. And then before we get into some of the extra stuff, I'm going to go over these two things. So we have a Zippo, and this one is a little different than your typical Zippo because I have a butane insert with 2 flame modes. And then since it's butane, it doesn't leak over time. Has a seal, so very much more convenient than a typical Zippo. And then we have the Open Mini 2, which is just a sweet little pen that's refillable, and it's got a pencil on the other side. Just a super nice little thing that I like. Once again, I like cool stuff like this. So now, actually, hold on. One more thing. Earbuds that I have with me most of the time. These are Powerbeats Pro. Nothing crazy, but I do really like the ear loops on them because my ears don't fit with most earbuds super well. Moving on to what I keep in the second smaller front pocket on my bag. So first of all is a tourniquet. So I started off with the CAT from North American Arms. This is pretty standard, and it's obviously nothing wrong with it except that it's large. It takes up a lot of space. So I just recently switched to this, which is the ETQ from Snake Staff. And it is obviously much more compact. It's just way, way easier to actually carry with me at all times. So I usually will keep this in my car or other places as a backup. Hopefully not that I would ever need it, but this is much easier to just carry with me. I usually keep, right now I only had one Band-Aid left because I do occasionally use them. Mostly just to give to other people, and then some alcohol wipes. These I usually keep in there, not really for any particular reason, just because they're compact and I don't know. Chapstick is also usually kept in there. And I think that's about it. So that about covers it. This is what I'm currently running for my EDC. And yeah, of course, there is occasionally changes to it, but for the most part, this is what I have on me. All of it at the same time, probably 80% of my time, and then take away all the bag stuff. So this is what I have on me probably 95% of the time. And this, once again, is my true, these 4 items are my true 100% of the time. That's what I have on me. I guess 99% of the time for that, but close enough. That's my true EDC. And in terms of posting more content on this, I don't really think it's worth it until maybe there's a lot of changes, because I don't change my EDC. It doesn't change. That's my it's everyday carry. It's every day. So of course, every once in a while there's some minor changes, like I'll alternate my knives, or maybe I'll eventually get an optic or add something to my keychain or something like that. But I don't think that's really worth making a video on, because I don't make up extra stuff for my EDC. Maybe once I get a bag, I'll do a little update video on that, but for what I actually keep on my person, that's about it. Up next, I think I'll consider going over what I actually keep in my car, so not necessarily everyday carry type stuff, but just stuff that I think is really good to have in your car. More useful stuff. I'm a person who likes to be prepared for a lot of things. That's always kind of how I've been known. I think I might start doing more breakdowns on little stuff like this, or the open, just little stuff like that I find neat, just for more short content. But in terms of long form, that's about it. So thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them. That's it. Adios.